9 million properties, 150,000 cities, one of the largest accommodation marketplaces on earth, and they own almost nothing. No buildings, no beds, no front desks, just software sitting between you and a stranger's couch. Airbnb controls $91 billion in annual travel spending. The rooms people sleep in, they belong to random people you've never met. This is not a hotel company. It's a platform that turned every home on Earth into inventory. But here's what nobody tells you. It started with 3 broke founders who couldn't pay rent. They survived by selling cereal boxes during an election. And they built something so aggressive that cities are banning it, neighbors are fighting it, and hotels still don't know how to stop it. Because when you turn homes into hotels, someone always loses. The question is, who decided it should be you? (2007) San Francisco. Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia are broke. Rent is due. They have no money. A design conference hits the city. Hotels sell out completely. And these 2 designers do something insane. They blow up 3 air mattresses, put them on their living room floor, and rent them to total strangers for $80 each. Not a business, survival. Most people would stop there, but they see something. When cities fill up, hotels run out. But homes have empty bedrooms, spare couches, unused apartments sitting dark. What if strangers could rent that space? They bring in Nathan Bacharczyk to build the tech. They launch. Nobody cares. Investors laugh at them. Users ignore them. The whole thing sounds psychotic. Who's going to sleep in a stranger's house? By late 2008, the company is dying. Debt piling up. Zero traction, investors walking away, and they're about to pull off the most desperate stunt in startup history. 2008, Obama versus McCain. The entire country is obsessed with the election. Chesky and Gebbia print limited edition cereal boxes. Obama owes Captain McCain's 500 boxes of each, $40 per box. They sell them all, $20,000 to $30,000, enough to survive another few months. But more than that, the stunt gets attention, shows hustle, shows these guys will do anything. Paul Graham at Y Combinator notices. Early 2009, Airbnb gets into Y Combinator, $20,000 for 6% of the company. Graham tells them, do things that don't scale. So the founders fly to New York. They meet every host personally, take professional photos, rewrite descriptions, build trust one apartment at a time. Because the real product isn't the apartment. It's making people believe it's safe to sleep in a stranger's apartment. Once they crack that, everything changes. By 2019, Airbnb hits 327 million nights booked, $38 billion in gross bookings, $4.8 billion in revenue. Hotels start bleeding. Research in Texas finds that in Austin, hotel revenue drops 8 to 10%. Peak weekends, festivals, conferences, graduations used to be guaranteed money for hotels. Now, Airbnb floods the market with spare bedrooms. Hotels can't compete. They own buildings. Airbnb owns the platform. They hire staff. Airbnb charges transaction fees. They expand city by city. Airbnb expands host by host. A study across major US cities finds hotel would make 1.5% more revenue without Airbnb. Doesn't sound like much until you multiply it across every city, every weekend, every year. Airbnb isn't destroying hotels, it's doing something more surgical. It's killing their most profitable moment, the moment when demand explodes and supply runs out. New Year's Eve, music festivals, conference season. That's when hotels used to triple their prices. Now thousands of Airbnb listings appear exactly when hotels fill up, undercutting them, outflanking them, taking their best nights. By February 2026, Airbnb reports 9 million active listings. Marriott has 1.78 million rooms. Hilton has 1.27 million rooms. Airbnb has more accommodation than both combined and owns almost none of it. Every room sits on someone else's balance sheet. Every risk carried by someone else. Every regulation problem, somebody else's apartment. Airbnb just takes the fee. Then COVID hits. Global travel stops overnight. 2020 revenue crashes to $3.4 billion, down 30%. Bookings collapse. Cash burns. Investors panic. May 2020, Airbnb fires 1,900 employees. 25% of the workforce gone. Brian Chesky writes a brutal memo, cuts every side project, kills every experiment, returns the company to its core, hosts and guests. Most companies would die here. Airbnb goes public 6 months later, December 2020, $68 per share. Over $3 billion raised. The stock explodes on day one, but then the comeback begins. In 2021, revenue hit $6 billion. 2022, $8.4 billion. 2023, $9.9 billion. 2024, $11.1 billion. 2025, $12.2 billion. 533 million nights booked. $91.3 billion in gross bookings. $2.5 billion in profit. The company doesn't just survive, it becomes unstoppable. But something else is happening now. Cities are waking up. New York passes Local Law 18. Short-term rentals must register. Platforms can't process unregistered bookings. Airbnb's New York listings drop significantly. Barcelona announces plans to phase out 10,000 tourist apartments by 2028. The city says Airbnb is destroying housing for residents. Spain fines Airbnb 64 million euros in 2025 for unlicensed listings. The European Union passes new short-term rental regulations, forcing into effect May 2026, and research confirms what neighbors already know. A 1% increase in Airbnb listings equals 0.018% increase in rents, 0.026% increase in house prices. Sounds small. Until it scales across entire cities, because Airbnb didn't just disrupt hotels, it weaponized residential housing. Turned apartments into commercial assets, bedrooms into revenue streams, neighbors into competitors. Travelers love it, hosts profit from it, hotels hate it, residents fight it, and Airbnb sits in the middle. 8,200 employees managing 5 million hosts, collecting fees on $91 billion in annual bookings, while cities burn political capital trying to regulate what happens inside apartments they don't control. The leverage is insane. 8,200 employees, 9 million properties. That's over 1,000 properties per employee. Hotels can't touch that math. Airbnb proves something terrifying. You don't need to own anything to control everything. You just need to own the platform, the trust layer, the transaction, the connection between what people have and what people want. Hotels own buildings. Airbnb owns the software that makes buildings irrelevant. Uber doesn't own cars. Airbnb doesn't own rooms. YouTube doesn't create videos. They control the marketplace. And once you control the marketplace, everyone else works for you. The people who own the actual assets, they carry the risk, the cost, the regulation. You just scale infinitely. So here's the question that should terrify you. If Airbnb can turn 9 million homes into hotel inventory without owning a single one, what else in your life is about to become someone else's platform? Your car is already Uber's fleet. Your spare time is already TaskRabbit's labor pool. Your attention is already TikTok's product. Your skills are already Fiverr's marketplace. The pattern is everywhere now. Platforms don't build, they don't own, they don't hire. They just sit in the middle, control the handshake, take a cut, let you carry everything else. Airbnb didn't break the hotel industry. It revealed the hotel industry was never necessary. All those buildings, all that capital, all that stuff, replaced by software, strangers, and trust. And the real question isn't whether this happens to other industries, it's already happening. The real question is this: when your home, your car, your time, and your skills all become someone else's inventory, what's left that's actually yours? Think about it.